Welcome to Yep We Can podcast, where we ignite courageous conversations with youth living with limb loss and limb difference. Hello and welcome to Yep We Can podcast, where we ignite courageous conversations with youth living with limb loss and limb difference. This episode is with the Yep team, Brandon, Henry, and Jordan, to discuss Yep, Let's Talk Sports. Listen, guys, I'm super excited to welcome you all back to the Yep We Can podcast with Henry, Brandon, and Jordan. So what has your day been like today or this week? How about that?
My day's been pretty good.
Oh, pretty good. You know, so what, anything exciting, Henry? Anything exciting?
I guess for basketball, I had a scrimmage against like the parents or whatever. We lost because like all the parents are tall.
What?
But it's okay because we went out to dinner after, so yeah, it's okay.
And so you made them pay. That's what I like, Henry. Yes. Yeah. And I actually was getting ready to ask you, I said, did you do a basketball game or something? Did you score?
Yeah, it was like a scrimmage.
A scrimmage. So, I have to ask you this question. So did you dunk on your dad?
I didn't, but I mean, it's close.
You was that close to doing it. Okay. Good. Exciting. So Brandon, how was your week?
It's been pretty good. Like on Monday, we had school. On Tuesday, we was out for a snow day. Then on Wednesday, we had a 2-hour delay. Today, it's been pretty good. Oh. I found out I was a state finalist for building robots.
Oh.
Because I build robots at my school.
Really?
I became the state finalist.
Oh my God. So you really got to tell us a little more about this, So you're a state finalist for building robots.
Yeah, I build robots that fight other robots.
So what's your top robot that you have built?
It's this robot that what it practically does is it's kind of like a forklift. It gets right underneath it, and instead of lifting it, it rips all the wires out of another robot. So it deactivates it.
Oh wow. That sounds like that's something interesting and amazing.
Yeah, I build and I code them, so.
Oh, and you know how to code it as well.
Yeah, I know how to code a lot.
Wow. So being a state finalist, what do you do at the next point? Do they take you higher to be national, or it's just? Yeah,
if I win state, I get to go meet our senators and stuff for Kentucky, and then if I win the next round, I get to go meet. Well, after I win, there's one more, and if I win that one, I get to go to the White House.
Oh, trip to the White House. So how long have you been building these robots?
I actually just started this year. I learned how to code when I was in 6th grade, but I never got into it. And then this year I built my first one in the beginning of the year. And then I built my second one actually last week. And wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you just technically started this year and now you state finalist.
Yeah.
I would say you are a genius.
Wow.
Yes. What'd you say, Henry? Wow, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a huge accomplishment. Yes.
When you're a goat like me, of course you're going to become a state finalist.
that makes sense.
That's goat talk.
Yeah. You said that's goat talk. Yeah. So Jordan, tell us a little bit how your week was. What was just exciting for you?
Nothing much. I mean, work and physical therapy. I'm trying to get back on the court so I could dunk on my dad.
Oh wow! Yes, because Henry was just that close to dunking on his dad.
Yeah.
So guys, let's talk about something that you think that will be inspiring. As I said, last week, a couple of weeks ago, that we want to bring stories and something of encouragement to our audience. So I know, Henry, you have something that you want to share and create a discussion around it.
Yeah, so we all everybody plays sports mostly, and some people think that maybe when you have a limb difference, you're not going to be as good at sports, you even won't play them. But really, we all can still do as many things. like Brandon, aren't you on the football team?
Yeah,
Like I play basketball and volleyball.
That's dope.
That's fun.
I'm on the football team. I'm actually a student manager right now, but last year I did play. So my school is really, really big on football. We won state in 2020.
What position do you play on the football team?
I was a offensive lineman.
Nice.
Actually, our head football coach, like one of our head football coaches, his name is Coach Miller. He actually has one arm, and like I think it's the coolest thing because like he's one of the best football players I've ever seen.
Really?
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was telling him about the amputee coalition the other day, and he thought that it was the coolest thing. And I told him that we'll have to get him on here one of these days.
Oh, absolutely. You know what, Brandon? I was just thinking. I was like, he needs an invitation to come on the show. You have to tell him that you are a podcast host for the Yet We Can podcast, and you would like to invite him to come have a conversation with us. I think that would be cool.
Me too.
That'd be so cool.
So let me go a little bit back to him being your coach, and he has one arm. How did you resonate with him? How did you connect when you saw that? Did that inspire you? Did it make you feel comfortable? Talk a little bit about when you said, wow, that was really cool. What was the first thing came to mind?
Well, when my brother played, because my brother played football for a while, and one time I'm pretty sure it was like towards the end of 5th grade, and I went to one of his games, and I seen his coach, and I was like talking to him, and he's a freshman coach, so of course I didn't have him any through middle school, but like 8th grade, about 7th grade, I started getting really, really close to him, and like he was telling me how, because I never thought I could play football because I have screws in my arm, and if I get hit hard enough, it like hurts my arm.
Oh wow! That's
he taught me tons and tons of stuff, and like one of the main, and I also wrestled for a while. When I was on the wrestling team, he taught me tons of moves that like I could do, and I was pretty good at wrestling, but I quit in 7th grade because I had COVID and I couldn't get thrown around on a mat anymore because it hurt me like physically. But he was my coach in wrestling, and he's been my coach in football.
Wow,
That's sick.
That's really interesting. So let me tell you a surprise for the camp that we have coming up August 2nd through the 5th in Orlando. We have Anthony Robles, and he is a professional wrestler, and he is he's missing limbs, and he has done these wrestling competitions all over with people in the armed service, like all over. And we are going to have a session on wrestling. In August, yes, yeah. I think that's very amazing and interesting, and how you took two different sports and looked at different techniques. And while we're on that, so and Henry, you can jump in. When you are missing a limb, what do you have to sit back and do or strategize on different strategy of playing those different sports like basketball, wrestling, football? Let's talk a little bit about that, because that can help others. What are some of the strategies you think about in those particular games where everyone loves to play?
Well, you kind of have to have patience to be able to like figure it out, because sometimes you aren't going to be able to do it the same way. So like say in basketball, my shooting form might be different because I can't like my only on one leg, but over years you kind of figure out which way is better for shooting. And then like also for like dribbling, like through the legs, behind the back, stuff like that.
Wow, I bet you're pretty good with that, because it's like you figure out another strategy. What about you, Brandon? So what are some of the tips that when you were doing it with a particular coach that he said, hey, you got a good strategy here to say, I can do it better? What are some of the tips that you used?
I practically adapt myself into not regular form, because I don't wrestle regularly. I make sure that they know that I am an amputee, just so, because it is so awkward for them to grab me like on my leg, it's so awkward for them to grab me there. So like you give them a little whisper and you're like, yo dude, take it easy on me. And then you like do a little move and you throw them. And like you scare them into not touching you. Now, of course, there is some people that they don't care. Like they'll go full force on you. But I just think that like it depends.
But that's a tactic that you like, though, so that's okay, right?
Yeah, it's like you're just gonna have to be built different.
Yeah, you got to be built different. Yeah. And I like that because sports. Everyone loves sports, and you guys love sports, and everyone wants the opportunity. And I think you said it, Henry. You just got to do it differently, right? And you still a GOAT, right?
Still GOAT,
right, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about when you look at yourself, what's like next level for you? What's the biggest thing that you want to try to accomplish? And like, what's next for you, whether it's in your sports or in school?
I think for sports, I want to be able to make the A team this year for volleyball. And I had a tryouts literally like up this week. And I think I did really well. I've been improved my, my hitting and stuff like that. And I think I'll be able to make it this year. The A team. So it's like we have A and B.
Oh.
So like the best players in the A. I'm hoping to make the A team this year. So.
Henry, if they don't pick you, it's not that something wrong with you. Something wrong with them.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly. Totally. You see, you got some fans over here. Yeah, so that's good. So the A team is like the number one team, and so you're on the B team now, and the goal is to get there. Yeah. So what do you do to prepare yourself to try out for that team, knowing that go ahead.
Lots of practice. If you can, you're practicing, and I'm over the off season, you might just touch a volleyball like once or twice, but you still touched it, so that's still good. Mm-hmm. And then you just try your hardest at tryouts.
And this is the volleyball team?
Yeah, my school is a volleyball team.
Oh, wait a minute. Back. You play basketball and volleyball?
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so I used to play volleyball when I was in elementary school. Okay, telling my age. Oh my God. So how good are you with volleyball?
I'm pretty good, I'd say. I'm really good.
Exactly. I like that.
I am a GOAT, so
Oh, exactly. Okay, so do you spike it? You give me a little bit of what your game is like on the volleyball.
Yeah. I'm more of a back, so I'm more of all the diving all over the ground and make sure it's always up because I'm not as tall, but I'm always diving, putting the most effort I can. So
what? Okay, so the back. So you're not the front person where it's spiking it. You're the back person is keeping it up in the air so that the front people can push it over the net. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So Jordan, how good are you with volleyball?
I'm not a pro at volleyball.
He's like that. He's like basketball, his mom.
Basketball? Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah. Well, but when you were growing up, what are some of the things other sports you used to like?
I played baseball. I played golf. I played a little bit of football in high school. So I kind of dabbled in all the sports. But basketball that's what my heart was.
You were all over?
All over, yeah. I was just good at everything, but I was great at basketball. I was a GOAT at basketball.
He was a GOAT.
Yeah. So Brandon, have you ever played volleyball before?
Actually, I have. Not on the team or nothing, but last year when I took gym class, we had 2 or 3 weeks, and they taught us how to play volleyball.
Oh,
I wasn't good at it. But I'm pretty good at I don't know what the people are, but they serve the ball.
A server. Okay. So as you guys know, you guys have different love for sports. And so sports is a really good transition for business and working. Name 1 or 2 areas of sports that you can use as you begin to get older and get jobs, or go to college college or
High school.
high school. Yeah. Name 2 of those skill sets that you believe that will help you as you continue to go with your education or job.
Henry goes first.
So I'd say that, but I think the strategy and like always figuring out like what you're gonna do next is always the biggest play. It helps you get better, and especially if you go into high school and in college, make sure you're always got your stuff done in time and all your work. It'll help you get jobs and everything. And then I think also you got to be able to like put in the effort and all the work that you need to. Else, because like if a school is like looking at you, like a college is like maybe looking at like a scholarship, they're gonna be, if you have like C's and D's as your grade, they're probably not gonna accept you or give you a bigger college scholarship. But if you have like straight A's and you're like top of the class, then they'll be like right on you and they'll be like you're amazing.
You are amazing. I had to add that. You're amazing. That was a great response. Who's next? Brendan. Out of all the sports that you play and love, select 2 of those skills or tactics that you know that will help you as you continue to grow, and you can use in work or in high school and college. Probably
management. I'm the student manager, so I help manage stuff in the weight room. And probably like always being on task. Like you always have to have your mind in the game, or else like you're gonna hurt someone. Because like, take for instance when you're loading up weights onto the weight rack, if you load the wrong weight, someone's gonna like get hurt. And always staying focused.
Okay, so let me tell you guys the reason why I asked the questions to you both, because I wanted you guys to see that you love the sport, but the skill sets are very transferable to as you continue to grow. And this will help other youth that are listening and teenagers who are listening to the podcast. You guys have said something very profound and just really being focused and strategies that will help you navigate. If you are making C's and D's where no other college will look at you, right? And so it's really staying committed to who you are. So when you're on those teams, it does matter, how you perform on the team as well as off the court. And so I always say that, time flies when we're having such great fun. And before we end, we like to end with a motivational quote or a motivational statement. And so we're going to go around and each one of you guys is going to leave a motivational quote for all the listeners who will listen to the Yep We Can podcast. Who wants to go first?
Camise.
Camise.
It's already a vote.
You're like 3-1.
I'll go first. I'll say teamwork make the dream work. So that'll be my quote for the podcast. We work as a team to make this a great podcast, and you just got to keep that in life.
Cool. Who's next?
Jordan, you sound like my teacher.
I'm a prophet.
I got a good quote. There's a quote from Mother Teresa who says, do small things with great love. And you should always, even if it's small, you should always do it as best you can.
You're such a wise young man. I love it. Who's next?
Me. I have a quote from Walt Disney. If you dream it, you can do it. Make your dreams become a reality.
Yes. Love it. If you dream it,
absolutely,
it'll come to reality. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I love it.
Go talk.
Yeah. So I have one, and then we're going to hope that our favorite girl steps in and give us something motivational. Camise. And so I was watching, you guys should go on to Prime Video and watch Coach Prime. And I won't tell a secret about that. And he said a lot of good stuff to the young people who he coaches down at Jackson State, where he was coaching. In order to elevate, you must dominate. And so I want to say this to all of you.
Excellent.
In order to dominate, you must elevate. So you got to dominate in order to elevate yourself. So dominate in whatever the sport you love, whatever it is, word. And so that's my motivational for each of you, is to make sure that you dominate in whatever you're doing. And you guys are brilliant, and you guys are geniuses. And just think of that when you're doing it. Anyone else?
Absolutely.
Yes. Anyone else? Camise?
Guys, I don't have anything profound, okay?
You don't judge.
That was enough.
Just say something smart.
I don't know. I think you might judge a little bit. I would just say you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's a good one. That's a great one.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing. That's amazing.
That's a good one.
Where's the Grammy?
See, right. So Brandon's going to have to call her out enough so she can get and join us. Right, Brandon? Yeah. Good.
Thank you for listening to Yep We Can podcast, where we ignite courageous conversations with youth living with limb loss and limb difference. For more information, follow us on TikTok, IG, and Facebook.